Hey guys, so today I'm going to do a sort of fairly neutral and popular bridal makeup look for you. If you can hear some noise in the background, my doggy is in here with me. If you don't follow me on other social media platforms, you may not know I got a puppy for Christmas. Who's that? This is Holly. She's a wriggly little worm. She is a teacup chihuahua crossed with a, stop licking me, crossed with a Shih Tzu. Holly, stop. Crossed with a Shih Tzu, and she's a little rascal. She is very small. You'll probably hear her playing in the background. Sorry if that's annoying. If you hate puppies, maybe this isn't the place for you. So the first thing that I always start off with is a primer. Now I'm going to use the Too Faced Shadow Insurance. I believe you can now get this in Debenhams. I'm going to use a neutral skin coloured eyeshadow. This one is from Inglot. It's matte 353, but any skin tone eyeshadow you have will do. They come in most like palettes and things as well. So I'm just going to dust that all over the lid. The next brush I'm going to take is a fluffy brush. This is maybe a 224 from MAC. I'm not sure the number's rubbed off now, but just a fluffy brush. And I'm going to take some sort of medium tone colors. So I have Creme Brulee from Makeup Geek is one. Now I have one here from MAC, which unfortunately you can't get here. I'm really sorry, but you can get it in the States. So if you're stateside, Soft Brown from MAC is another great one. Kid from MAC is also another very good one that I have here. There's some in the Naked palettes as well, but it gives you the idea of the kind of color. And you want a matte eyeshadow for this. So I'm going to find my brow bone there, and I'm going to start sweeping this really lightly back and forward in that crease area. You're just wanting to create a bit of a shadow with a little bit of warmth. I always find is a lot softer rather than cool tones. So it's nothing major, but it gives a little bit of warmth here, and it also gives a little bit of depth into that socket. And that is going to give you a nice smooth blend. Now you do need to go back and forth quite a few times, and give it maybe 20 seconds of going back and forth is really going to help blend that in. I'm going to take a medium toned, a darker toned brown, but it is going to be in the warmer side. So in this case, I'm going to use Handwritten from MAC. You can see I love this very much. So I'm going to get some of this on my brush, and I am going to close my eye here and see where my socket line is, where my eyeball dips in, and I'm going to press my brush there and start pulling down towards my lashes in a diagonal motion. So back and forward there, and then with what's left on the brush, which won't be very much as you can see, I'm going to start pulling it into the crease a little bit. If one eye is slightly darker than the other, don't panic, just use a very small amount and you can build it up to match. Just don't go in full hand, tons on your brush, because then you're going to have far too much product. Start with little bits and create layers, and that will also help it last a lot longer for you. Okay, so as you can see, I've left this space here across the lid open, and I'm going to use a lighter eyeshadow there. Now this will vary person to person what you prefer. For me personally, I just like something like a soft, shimmery, pinky champagne color. So something like All That Glitters, which is this one here, or Jest from MAC. So they're sort of peachy pink colors, but they're quite shimmery and they're quite light as well. And I'm just going to take that across that blank part of the eyelid. Now when you get to the point where the darker color and the lighter color are going to meet, you just want to go back and forward really, really lightly, barely touching with your brush, just to blend them together. So you have multiple kind of choices here. Some people prefer a harsher liner, something like a liquid liner or a gel liner. If it's something that they wear every day or something you wear every day, then you're more than likely to prefer that, especially if you like a winged liner. Personally, I prefer a softer liner. So I'm going to use a matte black eyeshadow on an angled brush. So I'm going to take my angled brush with my matte black on it. You can see that there. And I'm going to close my eye and start to really press that right in close to the lash line. And I'm going to take that right the way along to where the tear duct begins in here. So this area here, this pink area, is your tear duct. So I'm going to take it right down into there, sort of the end of the lashes. See, it is very tight to my lash line. Some people will prefer that. But for me personally, I like it a little bit more smudgy. So what I do is go back in slightly higher, so not quite in as tight to the lash line, almost half on the line that's already there, and just softly brush in a little bit more of that black eyeshadow still, so it's nicely diffused and soft, so it's a little bit smoky. And I like to lift it very slightly at the outer corner, so it's slightly thicker here. And then I'm going to take my brush that we used the dark brown on, and I'm going to brush over that edge in the outer corner and blend it in. Okay, so once that's done, that's the top lid there. I'm just going to brush off the black on the back of my hand. I don't mind if there's still a little bit on the brush, it's fine. And then I'm going to go into that darker brown color that we used in the outer crease area and outer corner. And I'm going to take that tied up to my lower lash line. Now again, how much you want under the eye is going to be quite a personal thing. Some people don't like anything under their eyes at all. Some people like quite a bit. Some people like a tiny bit. Just adjust things to suit you personally. Firstly, I'm going to curl my lashes and apply mascara. I would definitely recommend to use a waterproof mascara. I find the Roller Lash by Benefit is fantastic. It is very, very waterproof, and it sits quite well on the lashes. Okay, so I've just used a cotton pad and just wiped under my eyes and just around my nose. I would suggest popping your lashes on now, just in case your eyes run or anything like that. I find the best way to get my lashes down is to place them down in the middle and then tuck in each end. Give it a few seconds to adhere in the middle there. So I'm going to move on to base now. Now you will know yourself what your skin type is like, whether you have more of an oily skin, a dry skin, larger pores, etc. And that'll sort of dictate what foundations are going to suit you best and also what primer you will require. So mostly I use, on brides, I use the Estee Lauder Double Wear Light foundations. I really like the finish that it gives. I think it's enough coverage. It has great longevity. It gives a beautiful glowing finish. It photographs beautifully. It's just all around a fantastic foundation. Please do not confuse it with the regular Double Wear. It is Double Wear Light. I'm just using a flat brush to apply that in downward strokes. If you would like to know exactly how I do my flawless and long wearing base, I will leave the link below for you. So I'm then going to go on to doing a little bit of warming up my face. I don't tend to do a lot of contouring or anything like that on brides, just a little bit of shaping with some bronzer. I don't find that you need it. It can look very harsh in photographs, and that's the last thing you want on your wedding day, is to look back on this contouring trend in 5 years, 10 years and go, why did I do that to myself? So I take a small sort of stubby brush. This one is from Crown. It doesn't have a name on it, I'm afraid. But yeah, I'm just going to use a little bit of a matte bronzer. And I'm going to come up from my tragus here down towards my jaw, but I'm going to stop at the outer corner of my eye. So once I have a line there, I'm going to start pulling up and blending up towards the forehead, round the face, and really blending that in circular motions, keeping it really, really nice and soft. If you feel that you have specific needs or specific areas of your face that you would like to alter slightly using contouring, you can. So the next thing we're going to do is highlight our face. So again, this is going to depend on your skin tone. I'm going to use a little fan brush. I'm just going to skip a bit of powder on here, and I'm going to take it across the top of my cheekbones. Take a little bit above my brows there. And take a small amount down my nose and across the Cupid's bow. Next step is going to be our blusher. I'm a big fan of softer, more neutral blushes. So I particularly like at the moment from MAC, which is called Desert Rose. I think that's a beautiful colour. There's another lovely colour as well from Makeup Revolution, which is very affordable. You can get it super drug, and I believe it's called Love. Love, that's really nice too. So I'm going to pop that sort of not quite on the apple, not quite here, a little bit further back. I'm going to concentrate most of the colour there, and then I can blend back and blend forward. And then use my favourite sponge again and go back in and just blend, 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 blend. So there's no harsh lines at all. So the next step that I would usually move on to would be the brows. I'm going to brush through the brow first, make sure all the hairs are going the right direction. I would recommend going to see somebody to have your brows tidied, whether you have them threaded, waxed, whatever, in the sort of maybe about a week, 5-6 days before your wedding, to make sure they're nice and tidy. Actually, I believe this is Omega from MAC, and this is from HD brow palettes, the rest are. So I'm going to use this one here and this one here, and I'm going to mix them together. And you want to use lots of little strokes to fill in your brow so it looks like little hairs and it's a lot more natural. Okay, so I'm going to take a small brush, and I'm actually going to use my Mary Luminizer, and I am going to just tap into it a little bit. And I'm going to take this round to the inner corner of the eye. I'm also going to pop this on the highest point there of the brow. Now I'm going to use one of my favourite lip liners, which is from MAC, and it is Soar. As you can tell, I like it a lot, nearly out of it. And I'm just going to lightly line the lips. I always start at the outer corner of the lips because then it means you're not so inclined to pull down and in. And it gives it a little bit of fullness, so you can come right from the corner up. Now again, this will vary person to person, what your style is, what your colours are, what colours you like to wear. So I'm going to use Julianne's, no, I'm not, that's a lie. I'm going to use L'Oreal JLo's Nude. Now I prefer not to use a gloss on brides before the ceremony, purely because if you're going to have your first kid, you don't kind of want to be covering them with gloss and that. So my last step is going to be to take some gel liner, very, very small, little dainty little liner brush, and I'm going to go in and fill in any little parts where you can see the lashes. Now I'm painting mainly on the actual lash band itself. I am going to use some setting spray. Now my personal favourite is the Urban Decay All Nighter Spray. I find this to be fantastic. It works really, really well, and I always have great reports from brides that their makeup has stayed on all day. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please let me know if you have any questions, and I will chat to you all very soon. Take care.